yeah, we moved to Florida in February 2025 and stumbled into the church. And after like a couple masses in March, I forget exactly when, we decide to, oh crap, not decide to, but we were like, oh crap, we're doing this wrong. Mm-hmm. Marriage number one, or wedding number one, is not going to go down how we want to if we do want to step back into the church. Mm-hmm. And we did step back into the church. And, we have our friends, family giving us guidance, but it's primarily our friends down here. And how many people get to say that they've met a father and hung out with a father and a priest?
Yeah. A young one.
Oh, yeah, we're very young. 25 or something. It's probably 26 now. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we met a priest and he gave us some guidance, led us to water, and eventually we decide to postpone the wedding, cancel plan number one, which cost us 20 grand, and then go forth and set up a new wedding right now, which is now in 5 days, which our budget is like inch and 35.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who does that?
I mean, it sounds crazy on paper, but going through it, it's also just like the feelings and the emotions that we felt throughout. And I mean, really being touched by the Holy Spirit, honestly, because it's hard to explain the feeling, but when we started going back into the Catholic faith, and once we both learned more about the importance of marriage within the Catholic faith, I think that really opened our eyes and it changed our perspective. I mean, for me, like, I was, I grew up Catholic, yes, and I knew that marriage was always very serious. And to me, getting married through the church was the ultimate marriage in my head, because that's how I was brought up, is like, if you're married through the church, that's it. That's the real deal. But that was it. Like, I didn't know the whys behind it. So when we got back into the faith, even just a little bit, and learned about it more, heard about it more, friends were a really good resource. Having those discussions with the priest, who's their friend also, was that was the pivotal moment for me, when we spoke to the priest. And it was a very casual, just us hanging out and just talking. But I remember in that moment is when I got this feeling that I just knew deep down I couldn't go through with the marriage that we had thought we wanted to pursue beforehand, which would have been like, the fantasy wedding on a mountaintop, beautiful venue, like, top tier, everything, just the fairy tale wedding that that people think that they want, right? It just didn't feel right. And I knew we couldn't do it anymore. We couldn't do that.
Yeah. And all of these, bending the rules here and there. How can we avoid canceling the wedding and losing 20 grand? And what does that look like? That was a stressful time, canceling all that. But once we made the decision, like, okay, we can't bend the rules. We can't do this. We can't do that. Our marriage is nothing without the foundation of God with it. And that was the most important thing to us. And it ate us alive, inside and out.
Yeah.
Talk about stress.
Yeah.
Trying to get married, but like God doesn't see you as getting married. You put 20 grand into it. He's like, okay, God, what do we do here? He's like, you're in the hot seat.
Well,
You have one easy decision to make, and you got to do it or not. This is where you come with me or walk away forever. Well, not forever, but like.
Yeah, there's convalidation in the Catholic faith
but
as well.
that is also, that is not.
But then remember, we were even toying with that. Like, it was tough at first. We really, because, you know, us being just humans, right? We wanted it to still be our way somehow. We wanted it to still have full control of everything. And at one point we were even thinking, well, what if we just still pursue this North Carolina wedding on the mountaintop and then just do the convalidation afterwards? And that way we don't waste all this money and we get to still have the wedding we want and blah, blah, blah. But even that, we knew it didn't sit right, because once you know something, you can't just turn the other way. Like, because that would have sat on us, and we would have felt guilty, because we would have known that we were deceiving God, basically. You know, like, we were doing this with the intent of trying to just fix it later, you know, and that's not right.
Yeah. No, Adam and Eve, like, here's the tree. Do not eat from the tree. Okay, well, what if I just kind of like get the leaves, not the apple? I just want the leaves. No, don't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, what a crazy yet another pivotal moment in our lives. Like, so close together, like moving to Florida, learning how to work at the hospital, learning how to work remotely for me. Mm-hmm. And now we got to learn how to throw away 20 grand. But after we made the decision, it was so good. It was so good after
the weight
that.
lifted. Yeah.
And now circling back 5 days, there's no regrets.
Mm-mm.
5 days from now, we're doing it again. Finally, and there's no regrets. The 20 grand is like nothing. We forget about it. I mean, very fortunate, very blessed to, you know, be in that position to like do that. And some people don't have that decision to make.
Yeah.
But
it still hurt, though. I mean, that's a big chunk of change. And I think, you know, this is something that I'm still working on as an individual. But, you know, when it comes to finances, like, I've always been like kind of stingy, I guess you can say, with my finances. Like, I've always been like more of the try to save as much as you can, try to spend as little bit as you can. Like, is that really necessary? If I am going to splurge, like, you know, it's going to be something that's going to last me a long time, you know, like, that's just always been my mindset. So to just invest all of that money into the North Carolina wedding, I mean, I was really holding on to that. Like, it was really hard to just be like, oh, it's okay. Let's just, whatever. Let's just, you know, like, I didn't take it lightly at all. But I think it just goes down to, again, once you know, you know.
Yep.
You can't look back. You can't go back.
Okay, hold up, thought. We're gonna do a Joe Rogan gotta pee break. How do you pause this thing?